Hey guys, I'm Scott Jones. Welcome to my Falcons Man Cave. Had a lot of questions and inquiries about showing you guys around and explaining some of the stuff. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you around, give you a quick tour of some of the things that I have, and if you have any questions, let me know. So the picture wall here, and really this whole section is a section of pictures, and the photos are very important to me. These are guys, that I've grown up watching or have been able to work with over the years, and just guys that I really respect that have been a big part of the organization. As you can see here, guys like Tony Gonzalez, Matt Ryan, Algie Crumpler from going a little bit further back, Michael Vick, and these 8x10s really I think are a good look for the for a lot of these rooms, especially when you can group them together like this. Coming over here, you've got some of the more current players, and all these are some of my, again, favorite players from over the years. Any picture you see in here will be guys that were certainly fan favorites of mine. I love the look of the framed and matted autograph look here. All black frames is the theme, and as you come over here, you'll see more current players. And then you've got the Vic corner. I was a big Mike Vick guy. He was one of my favorite players growing up. Really good shots of him from over the years. First game I ever went to as a kid, I had to have that one. The Minnesota run, December of 2002. That one was obviously a big moment in Falcons history. So really just a lot of good stuff that Mike Vick did, and I like to he was my first favorite athlete. It's always good to pay tribute to the guys that really brought you into the game. Couple more pieces here. You got the panoramic one from the new stadium, Mercedes-Benz. That was the inaugural game against the Green Bay Packers, going back years, obviously. That's from 2012 in the Georgia Dome Monday night game against the Denver Broncos. I love these panoramic pieces. I think they're really, really a good look. And as you go further down here, you'll see some of the bigger players. Roddy White, obviously. Desmond Trufant, Tony Gonzalez, maybe the greatest tight end in NFL history. And a couple more here. So this is kind of the entrance to the room, and really what brings you into it, and some of the players, like I said, that I really enjoyed watching. So another section of the room here as we evolve. One of my favorite pieces, and both of these come from the Georgia Dome. The Miller Lite ATL Lounge was the place to be, especially in the Mike Vick days, and as it gained popularity, a lot of your Atlanta celebrities and athletes would go there to party during the games, and that's where this hung, in the ATL Lounge. And I was lucky enough to find it. Very fortunate. I couldn't believe what I paid for it. It was almost a steal, and I had to have it the moment I saw it. It was a really cool piece of memorabilia from the stadium that a lot of people partied there. It was just really cool to come across. Obviously, seats from the Georgia Dome here. I was lucky to find those as well. I always like the look of the seats from any stadium in a man cave. I think it's cool to bring that into your home, and seats that that people sat in to watch these games, and something I had to have, and luckily I was able to track down a pair and put them down here. Now we're getting in the memorabilia part of it. I got Roddy White's cleats from the 2009 Pro Bowl here signed, and Roddy was obviously one of my all-time favorites. It was really cool to find this and to be able to display it. As you come down, you'll see a few helmets here signed by some of my favorite players over the years. And at the bottom here, you'll see the Pro Bowl insignia there, and that's all the Atlanta Falcons that made the Pro Bowl in 2005. Guys like Patrick Kearney, Algie Crumpler, Michael Vick, Allen Rossum, Keith Brooking, all those guys. So really, really cool to go back and to kind of think about those seasons and some of the big time players, and they all signed it. It's probably one of my favorite pieces in here. One of my favorite areas of the basement down here is the bar. Obviously, you've got a really cool vantage point with the second TV, and this is where we play the CBS games, usually AFC games when the Falcons are on the road and we're watching here. The second game will always be here, so people can sit at the bar, enjoy their drinks, and that's what I always kind of envisioned when I wanted a place like this was the bar with the second TV, kind of give you a sports bar feel, and it's something I had to have, and luckily it turned out the way it did. So now we're getting into the jersey collection. As you'll see on this wall, these are all game used and game issued from some of my favorite players. Michael Turner, I was fortunate enough to meet Michael and get this signed a few years ago. He signed it personalized to me. This is probably my favorite piece in the entire basement. Really, really cool, for him to talk to me and converse with me the way he did that day. I'll always have that memory and really cool piece of history that he wore in a game in 2009. Brent Grimes, game worn from 2010. Really one of my favorite players, kind of one of the underrated guys on the Falcons, late 2000s squad, and a guy that I certainly admired. He played, well above his range, and a guy that I really, really respected over the years. Roddy White, a good friend of mine, gave this to me about a year ago, signed and issued. Really, really, again, I'll say it for the fourth time. I was a big Roddy White fan, so that certainly means a lot to me. Matt Ryan, this is game worn from his rookie year. Love this piece. I found it in a really, really weird way, but I'm glad I did. Obviously, Matt Ryan's my favorite current player, and that's a piece that I hope to always have. And one of the cool sentimental pieces here, Algie Crumpler. I bought this. I found this and tracked it down. Algie wore this in the first game I ever went to as a kid against the Chicago Bears in 2002. I found this on eBay, and I saw it, verified it, and just had to have it. I thought that was such a cool piece to own because he wore it in the first game that I ever went to, and now it's hanging on my wall. So just every time I look at that, I think about going, to that game and kind of how it all started for me, close to 18 years ago. So always, hopefully we'll be able to pass that down to my son with that story one day. And as you come around, a couple more of my favorite players here. Keith Brooking, I love that. Keith was a longtime Falcon, contributed a lot to the early 2000s teams. Obviously, Julio Jones, I love the custom frame job here. And as you come over, you'll see the mini helmets and the other pieces here. And what these are, this is Chris Chandler wore this in the '98 Super Bowl season. Chris was, he was known for the guy that, took us to our only Super Bowl until a couple years ago, and he was kind of a love-hate relationship with a lot of the fans, but Chris Chandler is always a guy that I looked at as with some reverence, because he was a fan favorite while he was here. Him and Jamal Anderson really carried that team in '98, and something I'm proud to have on my wall for sure. Keep going here with Jesse Tuggle. This is a custom frame job. Tuggle was obviously probably one of the greatest Falcons in team history. This is a piece that I really like. One of the old school guys that really should be in the Hall of Fame, but for some reason he's been snubbed. But probably part of being of that bad '90s team. I don't know. So this is the main TV and kind of one of my favorite parts of the room, and this is the display of helmets. You've got Matt Ryan here with the inscription, another Matt Ryan, Michael Turner. He actually signed this when I got the jersey signed. Michael Vick here obviously was a big fan of his, and then all the footballs are just Algie Crumpler, Matt Ryan, Roddy White, just an array of different guys that I've been able to luckily get a hold of over the years. Michael Vick custom frame here, a lot like the Tuggle piece here. Really, really well done. I love this piece. It's one of the larger framed jerseys you'll see, but really, really well done by the company that did it. Got some of the pictures here. Again, some of my favorite players: Michael Turner, work done, Brian Finneran. A few guys that I really, really enjoyed watching over the years. If you come around here, you'll see one of the things that I wanted to do was kind of line with action shots with canvases, and you'll see it on both sides of the room, and just guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my man cave. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions about any of the stuff in here. None of it's for sale or for trade, unfortunately. I get that a lot, but I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if you have any questions, let me know.